Hi, I'm Kevin Eikenberry. I want to make a point for you today. I believe that as a leader, you must be empathetic now. You need more empathy now than you've ever needed before. That's the point I have for you. That's my belief, and let me explain why. I don't know if you've noticed that the last couple of years have been hard, maybe harder than others in the past. I mean, there's been world events, there's been political events, there's been a pandemic. There's a whole lot of things about how we're going to do work and where we're going to do work and when we're going to do work. There's more uncertainty in our world and in our work perhaps than any of us can remember. And so for all of those reasons, we have to recognize that it might be hard for people. It might be hard for people. Now, you may say, Kevin, it's not been hard for me. Like, I realize everything you said. I've lived through all that. I'm doing just fine. And maybe you are. And if so, awesome. And the chances are that you have blind spots. You see, how you're experiencing and processing and living through all the stuff I just mentioned and 100 other things is probably different than some of the members of your team. Maybe you're doing better than they are. Maybe you're coping with it better than they are. If you feel like it's going okay, you can't assume that it is for everybody else. Same experience. Everyone experiencing it differently. Our blind spot is assuming that everyone else is feeling about this the way we are. When we become empathetic, we have a chance to find out where other people really, truly are. Which leads to my next point, and that is that mental health is a bigger issue than ever, right? I know that we're not mental health professionals as leaders. It's not our job. That's understandable, and that's okay. But when people are having trouble, when people are feeling isolated, when people are feeling lonely, sometimes they just need to be heard. And to be heard by us as their leader can have a great deal of impact. Sometimes if they can just talk through something, they'll feel a little better. All of us have had that experience, right? When we're willing to stop and be empathetic, we're letting people be heard. And maybe when we hear where they're at, we're in a position as a leader to get them the help, maybe through our employee assistance program or anything like that. The fact is, if we don't know it, we can't help or offer help. Mental health is an issue. We need to be aware of it so we can help our folks be more successful, past it, through it, and beyond it. Next, you are likely having less interaction now, right? When you're working in the office, you had interactions with people. You had a sense from seeing them, how they're doing. And sometimes if they had a scowl or they had their countenance was sort of down, you might check in with them. Now they're not near you. You haven't seen them on a Zoom call. You don't know, and you're having less interaction with them in general. And even when you do talk to them, it's much more business transactional. You're talking about the work and the weather. You're not really getting past that. So you have less clues and you're having less interaction. So you have less chance to think, well, I need to stop, slow down, and see how they're doing, good or bad. And so because of that, empathy and us being empathetic is more important than ever. Here's the thing. If we want our people to be successful, if we want our people to stay on our team, then our future literally depends on us being more empathetic. If we want to maintain our team, if we want to retain our rock stars, if we want to not be always in the turnover turnstile, then we need to make sure that we are being empathetic, letting people be heard. One of the reasons leaders don't do it, I'm just going to be honest, is we're afraid to ask a question we don't have an answer to. When we ask people how they're doing, we're afraid we don't have the solutions. Being empathetic does not require you have the solutions. It requires that you have an ear. And I encourage you to have an ear and an open heart because you know how to be empathetic. Now, I'm just encouraging you to make the time to do it because now we are living in the age of empathy. And as a leader, if we are more empathetic, we'll be more successful and we'll help our team members be more successful. All of this in this world that we're living in, just one example of how the future of work continues to change our role as a leader. And if you want to get more prepared for the future of work, if you want to have better tools and a stronger mindset for the future of work, then I hope that you will join us for our upcoming livecast. All the information about that livecast on September the 30th is on this page. You can sign up for it for free. I hope you'll join us then. And I hope that you'll take a minute today to be more empathetic with someone on your team.